me further. He kept asking me, how does this apply to you? Can you give me an example from your life, experientially, like Doc says? And then he gave me a very unique challenge as an illustrator that I haven't had before, which is, he said, read each of the ideas and don't illustrate what I've written. Try and express what your idea of that is. Try and express how you can express what you can express experientially from that idea. And when I began doing it, I realized that it was far more difficult than I had ever anticipated. I've been working for a really long time now, so this seemed like a really strange situation, but it ended up being really perfect. And he invited me to stay on land, which is the most beautiful place on earth. And it was just liberating to be able to leave everything that I knew, all of my beliefs, all of my ideas that happened to be so fixed about things at the door, and enter that space of being able to create completely freely, without baggage, without any other preconception. And that's what I did. I practiced everything that he's spoken about. I discussed them with everybody else around me. I discussed them thoroughly with Doc. And then I would just keep going into this space where I felt free to express how I wanted to express those ideas. So what has ended up happening is that my drawings are a sort of a parallel narrative to the story of the book, to the ideas of the book. And there's a little piece of text under each one of them, which is a sort of a window into what those ideas are for me. And hopefully, when you see them, you will be able to make them your own as well. Hopefully, you will be able to see your own ideas, your own experiences reflected in some of those thoughts, in some of those visuals, and be able to maybe go back to them after you've read the chapters, and maybe they'll become your shortcut to those thoughts again. Maybe you'll find new bits and pieces at some point. And I hope that you will make that conversation that I have started visually and Doc has started in his amazing words. And I hope that you will be able to take that conversation forward and make it your own as well. And I hope that we will all keep coming back and connecting at that in some way or the other. I hope that there will be more and more conversation about these ideas. They're wonderful, beautiful ideas. I don't know why, but we seem to have lost the ability to discuss them. But it's just simple things. It's just simple things about connecting, about making friends, about having meaningful conversations, about living a richer life. And like Doc once told me while I was on land, he said, you're really good at surviving your life. I live my life. I hope that all of us will figure out how to live our lives better. Thank you.
Thank you, Kriti. Next up, we have Mr. Arjun Nath. Arjun Nath was a corporate lawyer before he decided to become a decent human being. Following an epic battle in which Arjun's charm, wit, and good looks allowed him to triumph.
Thanks, Bliss. That wasn't actually part of the script that she was supposed to give you guys. As many of us here, I've been benefited by Doc and Doc's life. So I've just been asked here to give you maybe a few words about my journey. So I don't know about you guys, but life has a pretty fucked up sense of humor. Is language okay? Okay, great. You know, I had a really normal childhood. I don't come from a broken home. I wasn't abused as a child. You know, everything was great. I was in the debate team. I was in the soccer team. And then when I was 17, life said, here's some heroin. And, you know, along with that, you know, here's a heaping dole full of depression and anxiety and all kinds of nonsense. And I don't know. I don't know why that happened. As you can imagine, it kind of wrecked everything. It ruined the plan. You know, relationships, jobs, friends, family, everything disappeared. And then I found land, or land found me. I'm not still sure which way it came about. Land's pretty remarkable. You know, you take an ordinary rehab and you put it in a black shirt and True Religion jeans and stick 3 cigarettes in its mouth and ask it to curse like a sailor, and you have land. It was truly beautiful, I think. I'm still not sure what the magic was about that place, what it is that works there. But I do know that the spirit of land is the spirit of Doc. It's generous, it's loyal, it's kind, it's deeply loving. Um, when I met Doc, I didn't really expect much from him. I didn't expect that my life would change. I didn't expect that I would make such beautiful friendships. But all of that has happened. Life has changed in ways that I can't even express right now, and I don't really want to get into. I wrote a book about it, guys. I really don't want to stand here and talk about it, you know. I think Doc, I found a conscience at land. That's one of the major things that happened for me. Until today, that conscience speaks to me in a voice that is Doc's. If ever I'm in doubt about which path to walk, then I hear that voice. It says, "Are Chodu, fuck the feeling, do the right thing." Or that voice, you know, when I'm feeling lonely and unsure of myself, it says, "I'm here." And I think this book, Happiness, is Doc's voice. I hope it reaches far and wide and loud to people who need to hear it. Thank you for being here.
Our next speaker for the evening is Ms. Karthika VK. She started her career in publishing at Penguin Books, India in 19... All of this imprint is to publish serious, thoughtful fiction and non-fiction by authors.
Hi, I'm obviously the complete stranger to this gathering, but I have a backstory that includes one of the people who just spoke, which is I was at HarperCollins when White Magic was published. I remember the time when the manuscript came into my hands and I started reading it, not expecting anything and just being completely blown away by how brilliant it was, how powerful it was, and how staggeringly honest it was about what it meant to be you at various points of time. So if there is anyone here who hasn't read White Magic, that before Happiness. Sorry, Doc, I had to say that. But it's also very strange because when I was reading Arjun's book and reading about Doc, obviously, in it, there's a sense of exasperation that first takes you over. Because you're thinking, why is everyone saying all these wonderful things about this one man? And like, you know, is he God or what? Is he like, what is this? What is it that makes everyone say this? And you know how everyone is skeptical about any one person being given power in any way over yourself. And you resist it. And I resisted it on behalf of Arjun. I resisted it on behalf of everyone I was reading about at Land. And yet, as the narrative progresses, you understand that there are reasons and good reasons why there's so much faith in this one person who's making all these lives change for the better. And so I decided that maybe he wasn't such a bad soul after all. And maybe if I met him somewhere, I'd actually like to say thank you for the reading I had. And then suddenly there comes this mail, and this is a person I have to thank, Nilanjana Roy. I don't know if any of you know her, but she's based in Delhi. She's a really well-known critic, writer, published author. And Nilanjana wrote to me and she said, you know, there's this book and there's Doc, and would you like to maybe publish it? Will you read it? And I said, sure. I mean, I knew a little bit after White Magic. So we asked to read the manuscript. My colleague Debushri, who's here, the two of us then started thinking about it. And there was no doubt in our minds that if someone has done such a lot of work and moved so many people, we are only going to be privileged to be able to carry that voice further to people who may not have had that good fortune. And so that's how the book was born for us as editors, as publishers. And it's been a great journey. He's a bit mad, you know that. And he is exuberant beyond belief. So a lot of the ideas that came at us about how to do this, and it's been surprising in parts and entirely exciting all the way. We just have to find ways to make people realize that this is a subject they even need to think about. I think it's a word that people shy away from. Happiness is too much, it's too big. Momentary pleasures you can absorb, momentary pleasures you can even invite. But happiness, too much. You know, you just don't think it's even possible for someone to write a book and tell you how to go about it. But there is a lot in this book that will actually make you believe. And that sense of belief, I think, is what I carried away from the book, and I'm sure you will too. And it's just very, very good to be here at the first official release of this book. I know you're going to see it in all the stores. I know you're going to go buy copies and gift them to people you know. The publisher in me says buy lots of copies. It's very good for all of us, but also very good for the message in this book, which is not a boring message, which is not something that you will read and say, all right, okay, am I supposed to improve myself? I think it's got a charge to it of passion and sincerity and just experience, the experience that has actually worked, and therefore there's no reason to believe it will not work for you. So thank you again, Doc. It's been marvelous. And you want me to say something? What happened?
I'm going to say I love you.
Oh, okay, fine, I love you too. Thank you everyone for being here.
We have Mr. Riaz.
Prepared to make a speech or anything like this. So this is totally by surprise. I have known Doc now, I think, for, I don't know, 7, 8 years? Has that been that long? And I have to say that he is one of the most incredible people that you will meet anywhere. And my work, I work a lot with, millennials. I work with a lot of the young, a lot of the brands that we build, we are building for the younger generation. And, I always think a little bit that there's this kind of symptomatic, life where everybody's leading this perfect life, especially for people who are on social media, and we run social. So I think it's just that everybody feels really, really compelled to have this amazing life, like all the time. I just read an article yesterday, which I forwarded to you, Doc, yesterday, and which says that Instagram actually ends up making people less happy because everybody's leading this perfect life. And nobody's really, really happy anymore because there's always somebody else who has a better life, has better friends, is doing something cooler, going to cooler places, wearing better clothes, leading this supremely perfect life. But nobody really puts up anything that they have which they feel where, they're sad. Nobody really puts up something like, hey, I'm feeling a little low today. Everybody puts up, and all the emoticons are like, yay, and awesome, and amazing, and they're really exploring the hell out of superlatives all the time. But I think that, this is, I think the book that Doc has written is something which is, something which is really, really, really needed. I think it's a life skill that people really need to have in life, and that happiness is actually a choice. And, I've been reading his book, and I've been talking to people who have been close to Doc, and I'm very close to a lot of people who've been in Doc. I've worked extensively with people, they're my friends, my relatives, my brother, who are very, very attached to him. And one of the reasons why I always try to figure out is why is it that he builds this connection with people that lasts a lifetime? What is it about this man that gets through to people where I have failed, where everybody else has failed, where the parents have failed, where the family support has failed? What is it about this man that is able to get through the toughest nuts and convert them into people who are stronger, more beautiful, more real than anybody you'd ever hope to meet in your real life? And I think that is one of the most amazing things about this man. And I think one of the things after reading the book, I've spoken to Doc a lot, and I've never really understood the fundas until I actually picked up and read this book. And it switched something on in me, somebody who thought I know everything and I'm really, the bee's knees. I think that Doc has really kind of connected with me, and just understanding what this guy is incredible. And I think that one of the lines that has really stuck with me in this book is that happiness is a byproduct of good value system. And it just makes a lot of sense, I think that when you have a good value system and you spend your time adhering to these values, and no matter how inconvenient it is, it makes you really, really happy. You know, not going to the gym might give me temporary happiness, but not going to the gym long term is not going to make me happy. And I think that that's really, you know, the crux of the matter is that happiness is really a choice. And more, I think it is very important to have people come out and talk about this. You know, people just don't talk about it. It's still treated as a taboo. It's still treated as a stigma. Whereas, you know, you'd sooner talk about your infected toe, but you would not talk about something that you're going through, which is very real to you. It's hormonal, it's environmental, and until these issues are not resolved, it's continually going to be affecting the quality of your life, affecting the quality of your relationships. And I think that with this book, I think everybody should read it. You know, it is if it's one book that you should read, I think it is this book. And Doc, thank you so much for putting it out there. Thank you. Thank you for, I say this on a personal level, thank you for the miracles that you've worked. You are awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Riaz. We have in our presence a noted actor and of happiness, what it means to you, how it's come up in your life.
Well, a very good afternoon to all of you, and it's lovely to see that you're all here. Thank you very much. Of course, at the outset, I would like to thank Dr. Yusuf Merchant for inviting me here. I'd heard a lot about Dr. Yusuf. Most of it was kind of mixed, and a lot of it was very good. And his lovely wife, Sana, who's also been so hospitable. So thank you all very much for inviting me here. And of course, my dear friend Anil Singh, who told me that don't be filmy, come here absolutely on time or else. I actually beat him by 2.5 minutes. I was here 2.5 minutes earlier than him. Well, one of the good things about speaking almost last is that everybody has said what you wanted to say. And you know, in the profession that I'm in, and of course, I'm sure that most of you all as well in the urban situation in life and all the kind of pressures and things that we need to do to actually keep ourselves going in this highly competitive and sometimes cruel world. We've all, you know, at some point in time through a period of time we've needed, well, apart from of course Mr. Rahul Bose, who's I don't think needed any extra crutches to hang on to, but we've all sort of flirted with alcohol and with dope in our days, and you know, we thought that was the way to happiness. It certainly seemed to be the way to chill out. Some of it helped, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying it was all bad, but it also needed to be addressed. And in those days, of course, there wasn't a Dr. Yusuf for people who really understood that perhaps you're having some sort of dilemma, or you need some sort of proper support. People just told you to get it together and give you a swift kick in the backside, which I'm told Dr. Yusuf does as well. But the fact remains that happiness is, as far as I can interpret it, happiness is very relative. I think that all of us in our lives are in the pursuit of happiness. I mean, we all want to seek happiness. Everybody wants to be happy. How we go about it, I think, is very sort of individualistic. It's very personal. And I just would like to say that I wish all of you in your pursuit a lot of success, and I just hope that there are many, many more happy people in this world. And I know that Dr. Yusuf is doing a great job towards that end. So having said that, a very good afternoon to you, and thank you very much, and have a good time, and be happy.
Thank you so much. Our next speaker for the night is Mr. Rahul. He is one of the most versatile actors in Bollywood. He is also a screenwriter, a director, a social activist, and a rugby union player. His first movie was Dave Benegal's English August. It won the National Film Award for the Best English Film that year. Time magazine named him the superstar of Indian art house cinema for his work in parallel cinema films like English, August, and Mr. and Mrs. Iyer. In 2017, he directed, produced, and acted in the biopic Purna about the youngest girl to climb Mount Everest. He has also played at the Asian Rugby Football Union Championship as part of the Indian national team. He is also notable for his social activism. He participated in the relief efforts that followed the 2004 Boxing Day tsunami and is also the founder of an anti-discrimination NGO called the Foundation. Bose has given lectures on gender equality and human rights at Oxford and during the 2004 World Youth Peace Summit. In 2011, he worked in conjunction with Bhaichung Bhutia to raise funds for victims of the Sikkim earthquake. Please welcome Mr. Bose with a huge round of applause.
It's a half nice feeling to hear about yourself, and it's half embarrassing. I'm not quite sure which way, that whole thing I lean. It depends from day to day. I have a confession to make. I don't know Dr. Merchant. I really don't. I'm here because Anil Singh, one of my dearest friends, asked me to have a look at the book. I'm very aware of his work for the last quarter of a century. You call it LAND, D-A-I-R-C-C? RRC, which I'm familiar with, and I remember all the seminal work he did way before it became fashionable to talk about addiction, both mental, emotional, drugs, all of that. When Anil said, this is the book and this is the cause, and I was like, okay, in that case, I'm definitely going to be here. But unlike Arjun and Riaz and all the others who've spoken, I actually don't have a first-hand relationship with Dr. Merchant, and I'm here because the book makes sense. And I think everything that everyone's spoken here is precisely aimed towards what that book is trying to say. Yesterday, I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and she said something to the effect of, take noise-canceling headphones with you on the flight. I'm going to catch a flight to Australia tonight. Take noise-canceling headphones with you and go to sleep on the flight. And I answered, half-jokingly, that I have not had noise in my head for years. I just don't need noise-canceling headphones. But it has happened with enormous amounts of work. Neither have I been addicted to drugs or smoking or drinking or all of that. But as every artist is, there's a self-destructive streak in us artists. And I've had that, and I've celebrated that, on and off, but always understanding, without anyone telling me, that my role on this earth is to be more peaceful and more compassionate than yesterday. It's as simple as that. So towards that end, and I do a lot of talks all over the world to corporates and universities and things, about my life and about the lessons, leadership lessons, lessons of healing, lessons of success. And one of my talks is I start with the 3 greatest failures of my life, the 3 greatest humiliations, the 3 not cool stories to tell in public. So here are the 3 things that I know I have followed in my life to lead me towards peace, much more than happiness. Just an inner peace. And the first thing is, if you are prepared to lose everything, you will walk free. If you are prepared, whatever you do, just imagine a life if you lost it all, including the people you love. If I'm prepared to lose my sister and my niece and my acting career and my 2 foundations, and the work I'm doing with the Indian Rugby Union, what will happen? Who will I be? How much money will I have? Where will I live? Who will be my friends? If that scenario is livable, if that scenario is enjoyable, you're through. You're done. The second one is, please learn to forgive yourself. We all make mistakes on a daily basis. Forgive yourself and never hesitate to ask for forgiveness. I have yet to meet a person who I have apologized to the next day or the next month or maybe 10 years later who has said, I don't forgive you. The universe will forgive you as long as you truly mean, as long as you truly are sorry and you will not do the same thing again. So forgive yourself and never hesitate to ask forgiveness from others. The third one is, find out what it is that gives you the greatest joy. It could be anything. It could be playing with your child. It could be walking on a rainy day on Marine Drive. It could be something far grander, deeper, and more important as fighting world hunger. Whatever it might be, make sure you make that your life. It might not be the earning part of your life. I have yet to see somebody who's become a millionaire walking on Marine Drive on a rainy day. It might not be the earning part of your life, but it has to be an inextricable part of your life. You have to dip into it again and again, because there you have found a pool of replenishment and self-affirmation that's free. And finally, learn from the past, prepare for the future, but live this moment. I'm here, Dr. Yusuf Merchant's book opening. I'm speaking. The others have spoken. The book will be launched. I'm here. I'm here and I'm present. And I'm living this moment. And thankfully, and I hope this is the truth for everybody in this room, if I drop dead right now, done. No, not a single regret of not having, my life has been full of regrets, but right now, at this point of time, if I was to drop dead, it would be a good way to go. Congratulations, Doc.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bose. Your lessons will stay with us for a long time. I'd now like to request Mr. Bose, along with Dr. Yusuf Merchant, to unveil the book, Happiness, Life Lessons from a Creative Addict. I'd also like to request the other speakers, you all have boxes in front of you all. If you all can open them and also showcase your books in front of you. The coffee blind. Yes, please. Dr. Yusuf Merchant.
Okay, guys, I have enjoyed every moment that have spent writing this book. And I want to enjoy this launch also. I don't want to be like a dumb launch and, just this shit. So, will you help me to enjoy more? What is it? Nobody's hearing me. Okay, so we just do a 30-second drill. You will enjoy it, I will enjoy it, and Karthikeya will be blown. Karthikeya will be blown. If Rahul joins in, it will be great. Okay, so it's just a 30-second drill. You have to do what I say. Cool? Quietly say hi to someone who's sitting next to you. Okay, say hi to someone far in the corner. Say a loud hi. Okay, shake hands with one person. Any one person. Shake hands with one person. Okay, shake hands with two people. Let's create a racket with the legs. See, do this. Thump, 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 thump. Yeah, good. Go for it. More. Okay, while you're doing this, look at that chandelier. Keep doing it, don't stop. Look at Mr. Rahul Bose. Look at my finger. The finger leads to me. Look at me. Thank you very much. We begin. Okay. What has qualified me to write this book? Because people ask me, is it because you're a psychiatrist? Is it because you're a psychologist? You live with drug addicts? You help depressives? The answer is no. What qualifies me is my own suffering. I've been unhappy for most of my life. I've cracked the code. I've got happy. And I want to share this code with you all guys. Not in the talk. You'll have to buy this book for that, right? The code is there. No, I remember when I was very young, in my earlier years, I was in Pune, I was in a boarding school, feeling rejected, abandoned, confused, hurt. I was scared of the dark. I was scared of being alone. And everything that I was scared of was happening in Pune because I'd gone, I think one day earlier, I'm tempted to be like Donald Trump, but I won't do it. When the child was crying, I won't do it. Okay. So here is Dr. Merchant, his little Dr. Merchant in a boarding school, alone. He's gone early. There's nobody in the school. It's dark. There are bats flying. And our seniors had told us the bats go into your ears, which we believe. So I remember holding the bedsheet across my head, wrapping myself in that, and crying myself to sleep. I really, it was one of the earliest memories I have, and it was quite strange. And I also had a fucked up name. By the way, my name at that point in time was Ismail. And all these school kids would tease me. They would say, Ismail. I'd turn back and say, Smile, smile, smile. I said, what kind of fucked up name is Ismail? And I really believed if I go to Bombay and if I change my name from the stupid Ismail to something else, I'll be happy. So anyway, 2-3 years later, I came to Bombay. I got unhappy here because my father was a very angry man. I was I think I was a retarded kid or something because I got beaten up every night. But one thing I stuck to my guns, I said, I am not going to school till you change my name, Ismail. So after beating me up a lot, he gave up. And he asked me, what name do you want? So in that vacation, we had gone thrice to my dad's friend's house. His name was Yusuf. Now this guy was a heavy-duty dude. I had not seen his movies, but he was a film star. And he would talk like this, and he would laugh wonderfully. And I said, and they said he was an institution. So in those days, I said, institution. So Dr. Merchant decided he will be called Yusuf. Because one day he will be an institution. Though he didn't know what is an institution, but it was fine. He'll be something big, heavy. He can also talk like this and, walk like this and do all that shit. So now, my name was also changed. I went to school. I didn't have any friends. I had only 2 friends, Asif and Javed, who stuck by me till now. So what I started doing was, I didn't know what happens to, I started reflecting people. If I met Anil, I was like Anil. If I met Rahul, I was like Rahul. I thought that is what they might like. And I didn't know who I was. Soon I came into 2 versions of Doc. One was the Woodstock version. The cool dude, John Lennon, Imagine, all that. And the other one was it Bhai. Because also a boxer. Hey, apne se panga nahi lene ka kya? I was that guy. Now one day, one from each circuit came home together. I didn't know who the fuck to believe because but he went a little step back, he was thinking. And I'm saying, fuck it. I said, sorry yaar, tu dada hai, apna dada banne ka, nahi yaar, main padhne ka aaya hu. I was in that zone. But the kids in the class, my canteen guys, bhai, bhai, bhai. These fucking guys are raising a chant. This asshole, he didn't want to fight also, he'll fucking fight. They're making a ring out of the canteen. And this Hulk is standing over there fucking like this. I'm looking at him. So I said, I'll give one more shot. He says, one fucking last shot to scare this guy. I said, hey. And when I did A, the guy fucking just caught my hand and he got me in a grip. That's the first time. And you're going to kill me, man. You're not going to fight. That's the first time I actually felt gratitude. I saw his balls. And I gave a fucking left hook. I've never hit someone so hard even in the fucking ring. I think he flew a little bit and he fell down. And he was unconscious. I thought, mar gaya. Again, I'm back on the fucking ST depot, man. So I just hope through water on him, and he was awake actually. He was alive. I said, bola na boss, apne lafda nahi karne ka. It was just a fucking fluke shot. So life was going on like that. I was happy in the hostel. And actually dinner used to be troublesome sometimes because for dinner I would not get medu vada sambar because I would feel hungry again in the night. So in Apna hostel there used to be a lot of parties. They have alcohol parties all the time. You have to press the lift to 6th floor and just walk across corridors. Wherever there is a sound, just get in. And eat everybody's peanuts and wafers. Our message, sir, is going further and faster away. And thank you very much. May I request all of you to give Rahul Bose and his team a standing ovation. Please stand. Yes. Thank you.
If we could settle down, we'll now be starting.
I was hoping somebody would ask me, why is the spelling incorrect? Come on, yaar. You all are not having read the book. I got a fund to answer for it, but anyway, by the way, I can't give the answer because you're not asking the question.
I have a question. Why do you misspell happiness?
Okay, please give him. Okay, sorry.
Why is the spelling happiness?
Wow. People learn fast. Okay. So why is the spelling happiness? Let me tell you. For me, I have a definition of happiness. Happiness is a choice. Now, choice is not what is reason judgment. If I decide to eat fish in the night, I don't want to eat beef. Apart from Modi, it's bad for my heart. But if I eat fish, it'll be good for my heart. I'm not making a choice. I'm making a reasoned judgment. Choice is when you make a selection amongst diffuse variables. It's my fucking book, right? It's my fucking choice. No, but it's not that. No, but honestly, I'll tell you. Why. Because in order to be happy, what I'm trying to tell you through this wrong spelling is that you have to break through conditioning. If I get a car, I will be happy. If I get a home, I will be happy. If I get a girlfriend, I will be happy. You can't get a girlfriend. If I get a boyfriend, I will be happy. You can also actually. If you get a girlfriend, you get happy. Whatever. So all I want to say is that in order to be happy, like you were saying, in order to be happy, just break through, man. Break through conditioning. So that is why it is. And if you also are a literary expert who's sitting here, this is happy and this is Ness. You know what is Ness? Ness is like a headland. Ness is not a selfie. Ness is like a headland which opens into the sea. So let's say this is the happy. You're the Ness part of it. Take it out and spread it, man. Thank you. Isn't it Ness?
Doc,
Headland.
I have a question. Actually, so you can answer this first and then.
No, I'll just tell you, I'll ask the better question. Not really. That, do you really think if you read this book called Happiness, you will get happy? The answer is, do you think I'm a chodu? No. But the good thing is, if this was a manual on how to build muscles, there are 42 chapters on how to make your muscles. Biceps, triceps, all the muscles that you see on Anil Singh sometimes and on Rahul Bose right now. You know? So, in order to build muscles, if you read a book on 42 fucking different exercises you have to do, would you get muscles? The answer is no. But if you practice what is done over there, repeatedly, you will get the muscles. This book is much simpler and better. Out of the 42 chapters, understand 2 or 3, and it will fucking change your life. You don't even have to read the whole book. But please do not make parts of the book and share 3 chapters, because she also wants to sell them. Buy a whole book, read 2 chapters if you want. And they're very short, they're just 3 to 5 pages. I've taken into account my own attention deficit disorder. And if there's somebody who shares that, by the time his attention is written, the chapter is over. The small chapter, their fundas, and the important thing, please, is what the funda is saying to you. Like if I say, like I just said, the hater gets messed, not the hated. You can't say, hey, kya yaar, doctor kya heavy? Doctor ne kya kiya isme? So you have to look at the funda, don't look at the doc. Get the stage off the stage. Even if it fucking stops the sale of books, it is fine. But if you get the stage on the stage, you will not get a shit out of the book. And actually, I am going to share with you one secret. I feel like peeing, so please ask questions to him or her. He's also going. Bye. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so please ask your questions to Karthik and then we'll pee and come.
सर यहाँ पे